Something that I've noticed amongst high performers like yourself is when even though there may be people that are doing the same thing, right? Like you mentioned, you're looking for new deals and you may be sending direct mail. Even though there may be a ton of people sending direct mail, sometimes the highest performers aren't necessarily doing something different. They're more so changing like what's going on mentally inside of them, inside their team, and that changes their approach to their work and maybe how long they can do it or how much they can do it or how well they can do it, and that improves their results. I don't know if you've seen that with kind of your state changes and that kind of thing, but I've seen that in some other high performers too, where it's like, okay, they may have the same skill level, they may be doing the same thing, but this person doesn't get frazzled when things go wrong, and this person does, and this person is the one that wins because they can just stick to the plan, stick to the mission, keep going.
Right, 100%. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different, there's a lot of, again, it's like the probabilistic, non-predictable nature of this thing is that, like, you could get the edge because you're just really extroverted and just, like, on the phone, you just really hit it off with the seller, right? It could be that you're more persistent and you're just really good at that. It could be that you could somehow be more analytical and outsmart because you figure out that like the next Starbucks is going in this region and you figured that out because of some data that you wrote some algorithm, or it could be because you went out for coffee with the real estate broker that works at Starbucks that informed you that this is their strategy and you have that, right? So and it could be any other retailer, or you figured out that the strategy is to call every city hall and find out what their uh, building permits count is, and you're tracking that over the course of the last 12 months, and you see a pattern that, a certain whatever path of progress looks like this, right? So there's so many, and so there's so much data, and it's so imperfect, and who knows where population is going to grow, where population is going to dip, where the demand is going to go, where the demand is going to grow, but the building permit count is going to exceed that, and therefore absorption is going to take away any of the rent growth, and therefore that's actually not a good place to invest, like in Austin, for example, over the last few years, right? So, or do you disregard that because regardless, Austin is going to do really well over the next 10 years, and so even though there's a dip now, right? So like, it's not like my assets are C class cash flowing assets for the most part, right? And so they cash flow, but I'm also, most of the assets that I have is not something that I necessarily want to hold for the next 20, 30 years, right? Maybe eventually I want to trade up to commercial buildings that are a little bit easier to manage and appreciate in value, maybe slower or have less cash flow, but a little bit more predictable and easier to manage and all those kinds of things, right? So yeah, and then, you know, I mean, again, there's, is it, what's like the single KPI? Is it the mentors that you have? Is it the books that you read? Is it the algorithm that you write? Is it your website? Is it your, your charisma? Is it doing a podcast? Is it, yeah, no, but who knows, right? So we're all trying stuff. We're all, gathering imperfect data and continuing to kind of continue to figure it out, right? And then anybody who says that they figured it out is full of it, right? Because nobody really knows. Everybody's kind of in the same boat, even though, obviously some people seem like they haven't figured it out. But I just seen so many countless, the story of like we'll see. So I've seen so many countless examples where somebody blah blah, and then they turn out to be a fraud or blah blah, blah and then they go bankrupt, or right. And so now it's not, doesn't mean that everybody who's successful is going to go bankrupt or be a fraud, but it's just, or somebody could be super successful, but they could be going through a divorce, or they could be dealing with health issues, or so that's where the probabilistic model really helps me not go crazy with all this, because I'm just kind of like, all right, like this is another day, another data point, and just kind of like what's the most informed decision that I can make at this
With the
time,
data
and,
that I
and
have right now.
yeah, with the data that I have at this moment, and just keep going, right? And that's all you can do.